Okay, so last class I was talking about few terminologies over here. So we discussed everything in detailed manner, like what you mean by a client or a company, company code, how it works out. Then we have checked out a term called as a plant. So what is the functionality of a plant? So plant is used for inventory management and production activities. And inside the plant, we try to maintain multiple storage locations over here. So these storage locations are nothing but subdivision of a plant. And why we require to maintain this storage location to get stock count report, and for stock rotation process, we try to maintain plants, store locations. And then we have discussed what is a depot. This is purely and there will be no production activities which we organization functionality of it. So sales arc is going to be responsible for sales. So for one company, we have multiple can be used domestic sales like this we can maintain or based on zone multiple set whom we try to say
Mr.
the
Jairam, is
dealer,
there
qualifier.
any network issue on your side?
Can you hear me or not?
Can, but it's like your voice is not clear.
Now it is clear.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Uh, okay. So we discussed this one, like how to work out with distribution channels as well. Like every company will be having their own set of customers because for all the customers selling price will be not going to be the same or the discounts, payment methods or delivery terms will be not the same. So which we try to call it as a distribution channel over here. So how to make sure the product is going to be reaching the customer on time. That's what we have discussed. And then we looked after division over here. So how to work out with a division. Like group of collection of products is what we are going to be calling it as a division. Group of collection of products. So if one company is trying to sell different range of products over here, then each and every range we are going to be calling it as division. And then we also looked after what you mean by a sales office, which is nothing but point of contact. So between customer and the company. So as a customer, if you're interested in purchasing any particular product, we try to basically get into the sales office for that, for purchasing the stock. And then we have also discussed who will be called as a salesperson. So salespersons are nothing but the people who are going to be working out in the sales office. People who work in the sales office, we are going to be calling them as salespersons. And these salespersons are going to be divided into groups over here. So each group have their own responsibility of how they are going to be working it out. And then we have looked after a topic called as purchase organization. Why we need to work out with this purchase org. So this purchase org is going to be responsible for purchasing the stock. So whatever stock is required for the company, it's basically the purchasing team who will be taking care of it. They try to purchase the stock over here. And then we have worked out with credit control area as well. So the use of this credit control area is basically trying to fix up the credit limit of the customer. Okay. So in case if company is trying to offer the goods on credit, so up to what value the credit limit need to be issued. So that is going to be fixed by our credit control area department over here. And we have an FI guy who will be doing this one. So these are the terms what we have basically checked out in our last class. Now there are two more terminologies. One on the name of controlling area. One on the name of controlling area over here. Now what exactly is the use of this controlling area? Now they try to basically fix up the price. Fix up the price of the product. At what price we need to sell the product in the market, that particular price is going to be fixed by this controlling area over here.
Sir, can you please increase the voice low? It is very low.
Can you hear me now? Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay, now see. So here, there's going to be the department controlling area. Now what they do, they try to basically fix up the price of the product. So at what price we need to sell the product in the market, that price is going to be fixed by the controlling area over here. That's what this department is going to be doing it. So this concept is what we are going to be calling it as product costing over here. In SAP terms, we call it as product costing, or you can also call it as COPA, which stands for Costing and Profit Analysis. Costing and Profit Analysis. At what price we need to sell the product in the market, that price will be given by the controlling area. So it's not going to be the sales team who will be fixing up the price. It's always going to be the controlling team who will be fixing up the price. Now, why like that? Because the CO team is going to be working with know the raw material costing. At what price we purchase the raw material. Then CO team is going to be working with PP department to know the cost involved in manufacturing the product, to know the product costing, production costing. So how much amount need to be spent on manufacturing a particular material, like what are going to be the wages need to be paid to the labor, or infrastructure rentals, or power cost, water cost. All those things are going to be taken into consideration over here. Then CO team is going to be working with SD department to know the cost involved in promotion. How much amount need to be spent on promoting a particular product. So all these factors are going to be taken into consideration over here. All these factors will be taken into consideration to fix up the price of the product. All these values will be taken into consideration to fix up the price of the product. Okay, so never sales department independently will go for fixing up the price. It will be trying to work with all these departments over here. Okay, so this is one team. So like we have a CO consultant who will be doing this activity. CO consultant. So CO consultant need to be having a knowledge on module, PP as well as SD. Then only they can go for working out with the pricing part. Okay, and followed by last one, which we try to call it as a loading and unloading points. Loading and unloading points. So where stock will be loaded and unloaded. So this loading and unloading point is what we try to call it as shipping points over here. There's a term used, shipping points. When we talk about this shipping point, this is nothing but place where stock will be loaded and unloaded. So nothing but place where you receive the stock, where you dispatch the stock. So we normally call it as inbound delivery, where you receive the stock. And stock going out of the company, we call it as outbound delivery. Inbound and outbound. Inbound means stock coming in. Outbound means stock going out. So this inbound delivery is nothing but when transaction is done between company and the suppliers. If company required any stock, they need to place an order to the supplier, and suppliers are going to be the one who will be issuing the material. So when transaction is done between company and the supplier, then we try to talk about it as an inbound delivery. When transaction is done between customer and the company, so whenever customer place an order to the company need to issue it. That means stock is going out of the company. Then we talk about this as an outbound delivery. So inbound and outbound. Inbound stock coming in, outbound stock going out. So this concept in SAP, we try to call it as goods receipt. Outbound delivery, we call it as goods issue. So always remember this one. This is going to be taken care by MM, and this is going to be taken care by SD over here. This will be taken care by MM, and this will be taken care by SD. Okay. And this is going to be created by in some of the projects by SD consultant, or if you have a separate consultant. So those guys are going to be responsible for this. But we required a shipping point for dispatching the stock, for receiving the stock. This is basically used for inbound and outbound delivery. Okay, so please remember all these terminologies, what we are going to be working it out. Please try to work out with all these things. You need to be having a good knowledge with all these things. Okay. Now, using all these things only, we are going to be working out with our enterprise structure. Without knowing all these terminologies, we cannot work out with them. We cannot work out with them. Now, let's try to work it out over here. So, how it's going to be done. So, I'm just trying to explain one of the business model today for which we are going to be doing the implementation. And based on that, let's try to do the configuration. So the easiest one itself, I'm just trying to take it for explanation purpose. Now let's say I'm trying to take up a company called as Samsung over here. There's a company, Samsung. And we know what exactly the Samsung company is all about. Now the Samsung company is trying to sell electronic goods, and they are trying to sell the products across the globe. It's not that they try to sell the products only in one geographical location. In multiple geographical location, they are trying to sell the products over here. Okay, and we are trying to do the implementation for Samsung company. We're trying to do the implementation for Samsung company. So they try to basically sell what? Electronic goods. They try to sell basically electronic goods over here. Now I'm just trying to show you a few things. Now you can see, first thing, here the website is coming as India, Samsung India, because as I said, Samsung is selling the products at different geographical location. So based on this geographical location, we are going to be doing the configuration required. Okay, and you can see what are going to be the products they are trying to offer it to the customer, like mobile phones, TVs, home appliances, computing products, display products. These are the different range of products what they are trying to offer it. Okay. And if you want to explore all the things like where exactly the stores are, all that information also is going to be available over here itself. Okay. Now you can see these are all going to be the product ranges, product and services. Or if you click on the store locator, they're having multiple stores. They're having multiple stores from where they are trying to sell the product. So each and every store, we are going to be mapping it as what? A sales office. So for this Samsung, we are trying to do the implementation. Okay. So that's the reason I'm trying to take up this one so you can easily understand the business process. So first thing what we do, every company is going to be having their enterprise structure which need to be configured, or you can also call it as an organizational structure. Every company will be having an enterprise structure or an organizational structure which need to be configured. So once you develop this one, then only we can go for recording day-to-day transactions. Otherwise, we don't record any day-to-day transactions. Okay, so company organization structure need to be configured. And this company organization structure is going to be based on number of organizational units. Based on multiple organizational units. What all things we have discussed till now, the storage locations, depots, sales stock, these are all going to be addressed as organizational units. So we need to create all that organizational units in SAP and then only start recording the transactions. Okay. I'm just trying to start doing the configuration from financial accounting. In real time, you will be not given any access to work out with financial accounting, but here I'm trying to work it out because we don't have an FI consultant to do the necessary configuration for this. So I'm trying to do it. Okay, because we have an SD integration going on with the finance department. So for that, we need to do some configuration on the financial accounting. Now, how to start doing it? Now, let me try to log in. As I mentioned, once you log in into SAP application, we call this one as a front-end application, easy access. And on this particular screen, it basically our end users who are going to be working on it. Okay, we don't work over here. So first thing we need to basically get into the backend by executing a transaction code SPRO. Then click on SAP reference IMG, and this up the screen is going to be looking, which we call it as a display IMG screen. Display IMG screen. And this is the place where we are going to be doing all the developments which is required for the business. So under this display IMG, you can see an option by the name enterprise structure. That's going to be the one. Enterprise structure. Okay. And in case if you want to know what exactly you mean by this, so there is a documentation available. You can simply click on this documentation and you can read the information provided. What exactly this enterprise structure is all about, what type of information it's going to be providing us. What type of information it's going to be providing us over here. Okay. Here what I try to do, I'm just trying to basically click on this drop down icon. Click on this drop down icon over here. And here there are two things we need to focus on, definition and assignments. Definition and assignment. So under definition, we are going to be defining each and everything. So whatever organization units I've explained as of now, all that organizational units are going to be done over here under definition. And once we're done with the definition, then we try to work out with the assignments, where we try to maintain the link between one organizational unit with the other one. One organizational unit with the other one. So let's try to start working out with the definition side. So if you get into definitions, we have different modules. So you can see financial accounting, controlling, logistics, general, sales and distribution, MM, LE. These are all going to be the modules. Now what we try to do, let's try to start working out with the financial accounting. And once again, if you want to know what this FI stands for, there is a documentation available. You can click on it and we are able to see everything. What exactly this finance module is all about. They try to take care of GL accounting, accounts maintenance. Okay, that's what this team is going to be doing. They take care of account maintenance. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. Now here, so if you get into this financial accounting over here, we have a lot of things. These are all going to be what we try to call it as an organizational units. Starting with the first one, where we try to go for creating a company. For which company you want to do the implementation, that company details need to be stored over here. But in real time, as I mentioned, this activity will be taken care by the FI guy, not by SC, not by SD. But we don't have an FI consultant to work out. We are trying to do all the configurations required.